The KDKA Sports Desk is brought to you by Xfinity.
Welcome back. It just went final a few moments ago. Pirates lose to the Cardinals 14-8 in a game where Jordan Lyles gave up 3 home runs. Coming off of a day when the Pirates were already ranked second in home runs allowed since the All-Star break by their starting pitchers. 3 more allowed tonight en route to a 14-8 loss. Some of the bright spots: Starling Marte 4 for 5. He drove in 3 runs and had 3 doubles. Corey Dickerson 2 for 4. He scored 4 runs on the evening as well. Going around the division, Milwaukee beat Cincinnati this afternoon 5-4. Keston Hiura, Ryan Braun both had home runs for the Brewers. Cubs beat the Giants in San Francisco 4-1. Javier Baez, Chris Bryant, and Albert Almora Jr. all with home runs for the Cubs as well. Meanwhile, some injury news for the Pirates, and it's not good. Jamison Tyone, according to the Post-Gazette's Jason Mackey, felt pain once again in his elbow. He has been shut down from throwing yet again. He's been out since May with that elbow injury, and he will reportedly see a doctor or see a surgeon sometime next week, so it doesn't look like good news for Jamison Tyone. Meanwhile, we talked about Steelers training camp starting tomorrow. Well, a couple years ago, remember, we saw Hines Ward as a coaching intern working with the wide receivers. Turns out he's going to do the same thing this upcoming training camp with the New York Jets. He's one of 4 former players being added to the Jet staff. That's part of, once again, the Bill Walsh Minority Coaching Fellowship, and it's something he participated before just a couple seasons ago with the Steelers. But Hines Ward working with the Jets receivers. Moving on to Penguins news, Garrett Wilson, former Penguins forward, he has signed a 1-year contract with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Wilson played in 50 games as a Penguin last season, played on the 4th line. He recorded 2 goals and 8 points, but that's a signing that probably alleviates their cap situation a little bit. They've acquired a little bit more depth at the bottom 6, so maybe an expendable player in Garrett Wilson. Meanwhile, we talk about Steelers training camp starting, Pitt fall camp right around the corner too, and a big day for Alex Kessman, the kicker. He's found out that he's been added to the watch list for the Lou Groza Award. That award is given every year to the nation's best kicker. Kessman was a 3rd-team All-ACC selection last season. He already holds the Pitt program record for 6 field goals made of 50-plus yards in his career, and he's on pace to be one of their highest-scoring kickers in their program history as well. But once again, Alex Kessman on the watch list for the Lou Groza Award, awarded to the nation's best kicker. 412-575-2600 is the number on the Borders and Borders hotline. Give us a call. We're willing to talk to you. Let's start out with Mike in Oakland. Mike, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, Josh. Good to see you again. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I'm just going to talk about Clint Hurdle. I kind of ranted on last week, and you didn't even respond to anything I said. You just said okay, and you moved on.
You said like 15 things.
Well, I mean, the basic gist was this is another collapse by Clint Hurdle's managed team. I mean, if Joe Starkey had a great column, kind of a mailbag yesterday in the Post-Gazette where he outlined the 5 collapses under Clint Hurdle from 2011, 12, 16, 17, 18. You can add this to the list. So now it's 6 out of 9 seasons that his teams have just stunk it up when they really need to win. They're in contention, and they look awful. And I'm sorry, but, you know,
One
the
question.
guy – well, my thing is the
One
guy
question.
should be –
Hold on a second. One question. What did the 3 teams in 13, 14, and 15 have that the other 5 teams that collapsed didn't, including this one?
Well, you could – right. Okay, they obviously had better players.
No. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. They had better pitching.
What?
Better pitching.
Okay.
That's the difference. Those teams that made the wild card game 3 years in a row had better pitching than 11, 12, 16, 17, in this season. Those teams had much better pitching. They had better rotations, and they had way, way better bullpens than this team has right now. It's not even close what those 3 teams had. I mean, we're going back to 13, 14, 15. You're talking A.J. Burnett. You're talking Garrett Cole. You're talking peak Francisco Liriano as a Pirate. Eventually, Edinson Volquez comes along. They had way better pitching. If you're looking at something as to why this team and the teams before that in the past couple of years didn't do well, look at the pitching. It's the difference, really. Because think about that 15 team, even though they didn't maybe have as much offense as they probably needed, they had really good pitching. And they had enough to say, even if they didn't score a lot of runs, if they had a lead that the starter could get them to the bullpen could at least come in and shut teams down. This team can't do that. It hasn't done it since the end of April. They had the best ERA in March and April. Then what happened in May? Tyone gets hurt. Trevor Williams gets hurt. Jordan Lyles gets hurt. Keone Keller gets hurt. Kyle Crick gets hurt. Everything fell apart. Period. That's the difference. If you want to look at the teams that Clint Hurdle had that did well and the ones that didn't, the difference was pitching. And that goes for any manager on any team. So we can talk about Clint Hurdle all we want to. But any manager with that kind of pitching that Clint Hurdle's been given on those years when they fell apart, they're not going to be successful. That's really the only way you can look at it. I'm not trying to single anything out, and Lord knows I'm not absolving Clint Hurdle because I'm not doing that. Because there were a couple of decisions he made just last week alone that I myself would call into question. But you give him some of the pitching staffs that he's had since he's been here on those non-wild card teams, any manager is going to fail. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to Rick in Elizabeth Township. Rick, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, Josh, thanks for taking the call. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, the point that I wanted to make tonight was the Pirates are losing 11-4, and the guy from St. Louis walks on 4 pitches, goes unabated to second, steals unabated at third base. I mean, just blatantly, there's unwritten rules in baseball, and that's one of them. Rubbing it, right in our nose. And then the next inning, Wainwright comes up the bat, and, you got to take matters into your own hands if you're Clint Hurdle.
Such as?
And he didn't. And,
What was he supposed to do?
Well, you gotta throw it. You gotta put a pitch between the 5 and the 0 on Wainwright and his back.
We're done here. Let me get this straight. So because St. Louis was lighting up the Pirates pitching staff to the point where they had to pitch 2 position players, that the Cardinals, since the Pirates had no real interest in trying to slow down the running game, because, yeah, you're right. The guy took second base, and that should have set off an alarm in someone else's mind. Hey, let's make sure that runner doesn't go from second to third. They didn't do that. They didn't do a good enough job to keep that runner from running. That's not Clint Hurdle's fault. That's the defense's fault. That's the defense's fault, the infield and the catcher's job, to keep that runner from advancing. And the pitcher, all he has to do is step off the rubber. It's not that hard. They failed to do that. So you're going to try to hit the other team's pitcher just because your pitcher that was brought in because the rest of them got lit up and your infield and catcher couldn't figure out how to stop a guy from running. That is the worst logic I've ever heard. Let's go to Tony in the Hill District, my old stomping ground. Tony, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, how you doing, Josh?
What's happening?
You always look nice, my brother.
Appreciate you.
I want to give you a scenario. Okay, say supposing that what's his coach's name? Mike Tomlin. If Mike Tomlin's contract was up next year, I'm gonna give you 3 college coaches, and you tell me which one you think will fit the Steelers organization. Notre Dame's Brian Kelly, Texas A&M's Jimbo Fisher, or Stanford's David Shaw, or unless you have a different, college coach that would fit their
What are you asking me?
Huh?
What are you asking me?
If Mike Tomlin's contract was up next year,
Who would I pick from the 3?
Huh?
Who would I pick from the 3?
Yes.
David Shaw. That's an easy one. Easily David Shaw. David Shaw has pro coaching experience. He's been an OC in the NFL. He coaches, he does a pretty good job coaching Stanford, which is a hard team to get talent to. And he's managed to find ways to do that. He ended up grooming a number 1 pick in the draft in Andrew Luck. And he put out a running back who should have won the Heisman after breaking Barry Sanders' single-season all-purpose yards record in Christian McCaffrey. If I could pick between Kelly and Jimbo and David Shaw, I want David Shaw. That's an easy one. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.